Coming up on Mountaineer Playbook, I'll tell you about the coach that single-handedly built up a program from scratch here in Morgantown. I'm Aaron Parker, and I'll have her story next.
I'm Kira Nazzati, and stay tuned to find out where I landed.
Straight ahead on Mountaineer Playbook.
We're here in Fayetteville, West Virginia to tell you all about Bridge Day Adventure.
And how it benefits the economy.
I'm Elizabeth Carey.
And I'm Riley McMoyle.
And Mountaineer Playbook starts now.
Bridge Day is back, and it's even more exhilarating and heart-racing than years before. I'm Riley McMoyle.
And I'm Zach Anderson. We'll also tour the WVU wrestling facilities, fully decked out with the best equipment there is.
These stories and more coming up on Mountaineer Playbook, a sports magazine show produced by Sports and Adventure Media students right here at West Virginia University.
800 feet in the air. That's how far base jumpers leaped into the New River Gorge below. It's only once a year, the third Saturday in October in Fayette County, West Virginia. And I understand you went this year, Riley.
Yes, Zach. I had the opportunity to experience these jumps firsthand, along with reporter Elizabeth Carey, who joins us now live in the studio to tell us about this exciting event. Elizabeth?
Zach, Riley, the largest bridge in the Western Hemisphere hosts an event that you won't see anywhere else. In Fayetteville, West Virginia, Bridge Day brings over 100,000 people to the New River Gorge for an adventure event like no other. I traveled down south to see what this event is all about. Here in Fayetteville, Bridge Day is the 6-hour event where daredevils can base jump off of the New River Gorge Bridge, an activity normally illegal in national parks. George Hargis explained to me how she's feeling before her jump.
I'm just excited. Yeah, this is the tallest object I've ever jumped, so I'm excited just to have more time to fall.
First held in 1980, this annual event draws nearly 100,000 spectators from around the world to see these adventurers take on the 876 feet between the deck of the bridge and the waters of the New River.
It's fun, brings base jumpers from all around the world, so it's mostly like a family reunion for us, people we've taken courses with or skydived with, so it's just fun to see people that you don't get to see all the time because I have friends here from Florida, from out west, just all over.
Over 300 people will jump from this steel giant, the third largest single-arch bridge in the world. Over 1,100 jumps will occur in this 6-hour period, but that's not all. Community is paramount to this event. Olivia Merrill told me about her experience.
So this is my first time coming to Bridge Day, my first time base jumping, and I, was very spontaneous, so I did it by myself, and I've already met so many incredible people who have just been so supportive and rooting for me and kind and like friends that I think that I'll have from now on and stay in contact with. So it's really, really an amazing thing. Yeah.
Here in New River Gorge National Park, everyone is encouraged to chase adventure.
So anybody out there who has ever thought about skydiving or base jumping or anything like that and wants to do it, I would say just go for it. I'm like a prime example of like you can do it. So. At Bridge Day, community and adventure go hand in hand, and we can't wait for next year. Bridge Day is West Virginia's largest single-day festival and one of the largest extreme sports events in the world. This year, Bridge Day brought in around 300 base jumpers from 39 states and 4 countries.
Thanks, Elizabeth. In continuing our team coverage on Bridge Day, the event is not just about base jumping and rappelling. It also provides a massive financial boost to businesses in southern West Virginia. I traveled down to Fayetteville for the story. Every year, Bridge Day generates more than $1 million for the southern West Virginia economy, giving support to both big and small businesses alike.
Be part of the event and help us, events like this, big events, a lot of people will help us get through the winter months when we can't sail.
Barnett is one of the hundreds of vendors who have garnered a spot at Bridge Day 2023. More than half of the spots available to vendors had been filled in July, 3 months before the event itself.
Wow, wonderful West Virginia, baby.
There are over 200 vendors here today at Bridge Day, and in 2022, Fayette County made $99 million and generated 760 jobs. This has been accredited to a multi-million-dollar ad campaign created by the state of West Virginia to promote state tourism, and it seems to be working out. Fayette County isn't the only one reaping the benefits either. In the last year, West Virginia is seeing an all-time high in tourism economics, with $4.9 billion in traveler spending, $1.3 billion in earnings, and 44,000 jobs in tourism-related fields.
Woo! You made it to Fayette Station! Well, I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds of vendors here, so you're bringing in money for hotels, local eateries, places like that, so it's great. It's a bust for the community.
And despite the immense financial gain, it is also an opportunity for giving back, as all proceeds from the annual Bridge Day 5K go towards the Kids Run Club, which promotes opportunities for kids to be active.
It's just such a great event. It's statewide. Everybody from the country comes in, and I just want to be a part of it because it's a great state and it's beautiful out here, and I just want people to be able to see what our state's all about.
One thing is for sure, Bridge Day is more than just an adventure. For those living in southern West Virginia, Bridge Day generates the largest economic turnout in the state, similar to what businesses see on days like Black Friday and during the holiday season.
Big money sports like football and men's basketball have a large budget, and now WVU Wrestling benefits from their own state-of-the-art performance center, completed in 2022. I have the story on this facility that's used by hundreds of athletes every day. Just 1 year ago, WVU Athletics completed the dazzling Athletics Performance Center, and West Virginia Wrestling has been one of over a dozen varsity sports at the university to benefit. To head wrestling coach Tim Flynn, these new facilities have been crucial for his team's development, and it makes lifting exciting.
I mean, it's beautiful, and so many kids have come in and said, wow, this is the nicest facility I've seen, and it not only makes you proud, but you know, it kind of puts a smile on your face when you're recruiting high-level kids.
Paired with the new weight room, WVU wrestlers were gifted a $1.4 million wrestling pavilion for practice as well as for lounging or watching film. Homegrown star and senior All-American Peyton Hall has been around the new weight room since it opened, and he thinks it's played a role in his development on the mat.
Definitely have gotten stronger every year and developed, but I think that the new facility definitely is a lot nicer to lift in. I enjoy going to the lifts a lot more.
3 times a week, WVU wrestling athletes come here to this $10 million performance center to work on their craft, which includes strengthening their bodies for the physical season ahead. When you compare the 2 high-revenue sports to the $11.4 million total spent on over 46,000 square feet at the Performance Center and Wrestling Pavilion, this space benefits more student athletes, over 400 each day, according to WVU Athletics.
It's nice to be comfortable. It's nice to have nice things, especially when the kids are putting in that much time.
Now, wrestlers and many more student athletes at West Virginia can utilize a top-of-the-line space to call their second home. The wrestling team isn't the only varsity sports team to benefit from the state-of-the-art facility. Volleyball, rowing, men's and women's soccer, and other Olympic sports can use this facility to train their athletes.
Zach, the Mountaineer football team is currently ranked number 81 nationally, with an average of 394 yards per game.
This is a decline from their 2022 performance when they were ranked as high as number 56, but the team is trying to make a comeback. Andrew Corbett has that story.
When the preseason football media poll came out back in July, the Mountaineers were picked dead last in the Big 12 Conference, and Coach Neil Brown was not happy.
Upset about the media poll. Definitely do not agree with that. The positive is that the media has not been, as far as predicting the Big 12, has not been very successful in recent years.
But now, 5 weeks into the season, the Mountaineers are sitting at 2-1 in conference play, which is good for a tie in second place. WVU owns wins against Texas Tech and TCU, two teams the media picked ahead of the Mountaineers.
Whenever you can come in an opposing team stadium and come out with a win, it always feels good. So it's a big win for us. So yeah, feels great.
Hey, stop doubting us, underdogs. 14 who?
The team used this expectation as fuel, with constant reminders throughout the facility to motivate their hard work, which has led to great success this season so far.
We have 4 objectives, and I think you've heard me talk about it. Discipline, strain, tough, and smart. That's how we want to be described.
In addition to being towards the top of the conference this year, WVU also holds a win against arch-rival Pitt, avenging last season's loss.
With the position the Mountaineers have put themselves in, WVU controls their own destiny with a chance to win the Big 12 for the first time ever. I'm Andrew Corbett, reporting for Mountaineer Playbook.
Riley, you know who is on a winning streak? Coach Nikki Izzo Brown. Izzo Brown has never had a losing season as a head coach and has led WVU to 23 consecutive 10-plus winning seasons.
That's right, Zach. And Aaron Parker joins us now in the studio with his segment, Coach's Corner, to tell us more. Aaron?
Riley, Zach, they're calling her a collegiate soccer legend. We're talking about Nikki Izzo Brown. As the head coach of the West Virginia women's soccer program for 28 years, Izzo Brown has led her team to 8 conference titles and has produced a whopping 34 professional athletes. And recently, Izzo Brown earned a special milestone. In 1996, the West Virginia women's soccer team began their first season in program history, and leading the charge since day one has been head coach Nikki Izzo Brown. Izzo Brown took the job after 1 season as the head coach of West Virginia Wesleyan and has not looked back since the inception of the Mountaineer program.
I wanted it like a big family, so that was the first thing, was if I could get people to buy in that this was going to be bigger than anything they've ever been part of as a team, that was going to be important.
Izzo Brown has established the women's soccer team as a premier program for WVU, as the Mountaineers have reached the NCAA tournament in 22 of the last 23 seasons. Izzo Brown has also led WVU to dominance in conference play, as the Mountaineers have won 5 regular season and 8 tournament championships between the Big East and Big 12 conferences. In perhaps the greatest season in program history, Izzo Brown led the Mountaineers to an appearance in the national championship game in the winter of 2016.
And the West Virginia Mountaineers are going to the national championship.
Sammy Brown, Izzo Brown's oldest daughter and current starting midfielder for the Auburn Tigers, spoke on how special her mom's run at WVU has been.
It's really cool to look back and realize what she really did there. And it just shows that, you know, if you believe in something, then you can do it.
Coming into the 2023 season, Izzo Brown needed just 4 more wins to reach 400 for her career, and her Mountaineers got that done on October 5th at home against Oklahoma.
What was so special was I got to share it with this team, but also reflect with all the players and staff that helped me get to the number.
As the regular season quickly winds down, Izzo Brown and company will gear up for yet another Big 12 tournament run. Izzo Brown will look to expand on her 5 Big 12 tournament championships, which leads all active coaches in the conference and is tied for first in Big 12 women's soccer history. Riley, Zach, back to you.
Coach Nikki Izzo Brown sure has taken the women's soccer program to new heights, Zach.
Yes, she has, Riley. Speaking of heights, 18 balloons soared over Morgantown recently for the annual Hot Air Balloon Festival. Kira Nadzadi joins us now from Studio B at the Media Innovation Center to explain in her segment, Finding Adventure. Kira?
Thanks, Zach. Riley, every year balloon pilots travel from all over the country to Morgantown to fly among the hills. And even though these balloons seem weightless as they soar in the sky, they're actually very heavy. Hot air balloons can weigh as much as 700 pounds. I went to this event to get a closer look. Hosted by University Toyota, Balloons Over Morgantown is an annual event where balloons come together to showcase their navigational skills and promote their affiliated companies.
We had really good weather that day, I noticed, and it just kind of
added more to the sky. Everyone was up early in the morning, so I bet they weren't happy with that. But just seeing that cute little balloon up in the sky, it was just so cute.
The event was originally known as the Mountaineer Balloon Festival, but was later on adapted due to the change in launch site locations. Today, the balloons used the Morgantown Municipal Airport for the event, soaring to between 1,000 and 3,000 feet in the air. The pilots use the runway to help with their launch site, but once they leave, designated drivers follow them en route on the ground to help them later on with landing. Since hot air balloons go wherever the wind takes them, balloons are unable to return to the same location they launched from. Instead, the pilots attempt to find open land, football fields, or empty parking lots to land in. Michael Miller, pilot of the Just a Dream, has been attending the event for the past 4 years.
Every flight is totally different, and I love seeing all the, like today we flew over a school and a bunch of kids were out yelling and hollering and screaming and waving, so we came down lower to say hi to them, and I just love seeing all the smiling faces when the balloons are in the air.
There are around 3,000 balloons registered in the United States that actively fly. Balloons and pilots can be registered through the Federal Aviation Administration. Many people ask, how much do hot air balloons cost? Well, the price of one balloon may surprise you. Balloon prices are similar to cars. A hot air balloon costs between $18,000 and $50,000. Riley, Zach, back to you at the Waterfront Studio.
I'm not sure what's more heart racing, Riley. Bridge jumping or being that high up in a hot air balloon? Well, coming up after the break, Patrick McCabe will have our Playbook Player of the Week.
And have you ever been axe throwing? It's considered one of the world's oldest sports. Stay tuned, that story straight ahead.
After the break on Mountaineer Playbook, I'm Matt Palmentary, and I will show you how to hit the bullseye.
Mountaineers know.
Let's go!
Really means let's try. Let's create. Let's explore. And let's do it all together.
Okay.
WVU women's soccer has a leader stepping up this season. And even though she's just over 5 feet, number 23 is proving to be a powerhouse among her teammates.
That's right, Zach. Patrick McCabe joins us now in the studio with his segment, Playbook Player of the Week. Patrick?
Riley, Zach, WVU women's soccer is on a hot streak, winning 4 of their last 5 games going into the Big 12 Conference Tournament. The resurgence has been led by one of the team's leaders who has played her whole life with her head in the game.
Maddie Moreau started her career at her hometown Louisiana State University, but has spent the last 2 seasons here at WVU and has become one of the team's stars. But it's her steady leadership that has gotten the Mountaineer season back on track.
I think we played some really good teams in the beginning of the season, and we learned a lot, but it might have hurt our confidence a little bit. And then so just throughout the season, I think we kind of found ourselves and know each other better, so we know how to each other play.
Moreau has quickly become a locker room and fan favorite here at WVU for her hard work and leadership. Her head coach, Nikki Izzo Brown, spoke about how vital Moreau is to this WVU squad.
And who's your hardest worker? Maddie Moreau. Who's locked in? Maddie Moreau. Who wants to win and is competitive? Maddie Moreau. So for me, it's very easy to coach somebody like Maddie. She's a gift. She's somebody that I count on every day to help with the culture.
Moreau isn't the only standout on the back line. 5th-year right back Julian Valeron has played opposite Moreau the last 2 seasons, and she spoke about Moreau's leadership abilities both on and off the field.
She's always out here playing like early. She's got to do extra, and on the field, obviously, we're not scared when she's on the field because we know if she loses the ball, she'll get it back.
Moreau's steady presence and constant communication on the field have helped lead the Mountaineers up into a 3-way tie for 4th in the Big 12 Conference as the team heads into their final game of the season at home against Cincinnati. But you can guarantee nobody on that field will be able to outwork or outrun the Louisiana Comet, Maddie Moreau.
The Mountaineers are officially slotted in as the 5th seed in the Big 12 Conference Tournament after their 1-1 draw against Cincinnati on October 23rd. The team will play number 4 seed Texas in the first quarterfinal matchup on October 30th. Zach, Riley, back to you.
Thanks, Patrick. Riley, did you know how diverse our men's soccer team is?
Absolutely, Zach. And many of these players have been key pieces to the Mountaineers' success this season. At one point during the WVU men's soccer season, 10 out of the starting 11 players were born outside of the United States. The Mountaineers are ranked within the top 10 in the nation and were ranked number 2 in the United Soccer Coaches Poll, which was the highest they have ever been placed in program history. Carlos Hernando from Madrid is just one of those players who have stepped up this year. We wish the entire team the best of luck in their season.
Did you know that the WVU club hockey team has been around since 1968?
Ryan Darty explains how a club sport is different from other teams at the university.
The WVU club hockey program is part of the American Collegiate Hockey Association, which has no affiliation to the NCAA. The team receives no direct funding from the university and is mostly funded by player fees. However, even though players have to pay to play, General Manager Todd Gukin says there's still a high demand to join the program.
We've got a D1, D2, D3, we've got a women's team, and we could have thrown another team on the ice if we had more ice here. We ran out of ice.
Like the other WVU teams, the hockey program recruits players from all over. The D1 team's leading scorer, Leo Haban, is from Slovakia. Forward Dawson Taylor is another player from out of state, and he explained what drew him to West Virginia.
You know, culture in the room is always good. It's a great group of guys. When I first came here, I met a couple of the boys, and, you know, they kind of just, I fell in love with them too. They're a great group of guys, fun guys to hang around with, and always working hard on the ice. And that's the only thing you can ask for in a team right there.
The D1 team had a head coaching change this season as Tyler Kutek was promoted from the D2 team after winning Coach of the Year and leading the team to a conference title. However, his first season leading the D1 team will be no easy task.
WVU will play one of the toughest schedules in the ACHA this season, with games against Ohio, Liberty, Pitt, and Stony Brook. All 4 of those teams are ranked in the top 20 last season.
Home games are played at the Morgantown Ice Arena, and they're broadcasted on the Mountaineer Hockey Network on YouTube. Your next chance to catch the Mountaineers on the ice will be on November 10th, when the D2 team faces off against East Carolina.
In our very own backyard, Mountaineers have a unique opportunity to find their inner lumberjack.
That's right, Riley. Mountaineers can also relieve stress in a rage room session at Mountain Man Axe Throwing. Matt Palminteri has more on the story.
Since 2008, rage rooms have been a phenomenon around the world with a growing industry revenue of about $215 million a year. Here at Mountain Man Axe Throwing Center in Star City, people can do an hour in the smash room, throw axes for fun, or even get coached to compete at the highest level.
Yeah, I think this is something that I could see myself doing and progressing my skills and getting better and better, maybe joining a league or, joining the community down here.
Mountain Man offers 3 different axe throwing leagues, and with only a few weeks until the U.S. Pro Tournament, someone from Morgantown just might qualify.
So we have basic people coming off the street that, just have fun. But then we have a group of us that travel around the United States competitively to throw. We have people ranked in the top 5 in the world typically all the time.
You may think that axe throwing is just for men, but get this, it's not. 45% of all axe throwers are women. Mountain Man Axe Throwing is the perfect place to sharpen your skills. And that's because axe throwing isn't about strength, it's about technique and form. Reporting for Mountaineer Playbook, I'm Matt Palminteri.
That looked like a lot of fun, Zach. Well, that's it for this week's edition of Mountaineer Playbook, our sports magazine show where we dive into inspiring stories of coaches, players, and passionate fans who make the sports world truly remarkable. I'm Riley McAmoyle.
And I'm Zach Anderson. Please like and follow our page on Facebook at Mountaineer Playbook. Don't miss the chance to celebrate the heart and soul of the game with us next time on Mountaineer Playbook.